Hey, so today we are going to be comparing the Super Nintendo and PlayStation Vita versions of a game called Putty Squad. Putty Squad is the sequel to the original, which was just called Putty on the Amiga and Super Putty on the Super Nintendo. Super Putty is a game I played when it first came out, and I kind of forgot about it until this remastered version was released more than 20 years later. I've never played Putty Squad until just recently because the Super Nintendo version was never released outside of Europe. So today I'll be playing the remastered PlayStation Vita version and the European Super Nintendo version using my Super UFO Pro 8 since the original cart was never sold here in the US. Let's go ahead and check these out. Alright, so here is Putty Squad on the PlayStation Vita. One of the many new features in the remake is a set of tutorial levels. These were not present on the Super Nintendo, so what we're going to do is go straight into the Vita tutorials, and then we are going to do a side-by-side comparison of the first stage. The first thing that I should mention is that the Vita version is not PlayStation TV compatible, despite having very simple touchscreen features that could have easily been mapped to a controller. The remake is available on PlayStation 3, 4, Vita, Nintendo 3DS, and Xbox Live Arcade. For a quirky puzzle platformer, it's pretty fun. This game got really low scores, and I feel like it's because it was first released on the PlayStation 4 shortly after the launch of the system. This is when early adopters were grasping at everything and anything they could get their hands on, and I don't blame them. People are craving new games for their new hardware. However, this is not a game that shows off the power of the PlayStation 4. This remastered game would run fine on any system that can handle 2D sprites at 720p or greater. So even the original Xbox, 2 console generations ago, could run this just as we see it here. Some of the best features of the remake are, first of all, the map. At any time, you can glance at the entire level map to see where you need to go next. Secondly, the audio and visual improvements. The music is actually good now, and the HD graphics are a welcome improvement. You'll see what I mean in a minute, though. Third, the stickers, challenges, and trophies improve the replayability. Alright, so here is the first level with the Vita version on the left and the Super Nintendo version on the right. The levels have the same layout with a few tweaks here and there. Obviously the graphics look a lot better in the remastered version running on the Vita side. So if you've never played this game before, basically the goal is to rescue all of the red putties. Once you've collected them all, the exit door will appear and you'll be able to move on to the next level. Along the way, there will be various enemies out to get you. You'll need to either destroy or avoid them. There are also power-ups and items you may need to pick up and use in order to progress. For example, you may need to pick up a spring block and place it near a hard-to-reach ledge. There are also collectibles scattered throughout the level, like these stars. Collecting more of them will upgrade your attack. This is the Super Nintendo version in all of its 16-bit glory. Notice how much of a difference there is in sound and visuals between this and the remastered version. There is a time limit for completing each level, but defeating enemies and picking up these clocks will give you a time extension. I didn't really have a problem completing the levels within the given time frame, especially with the added map. You won't really find yourself wandering aimlessly. It's pretty interesting seeing the differences in the two versions, like for instance the spike thing rotating in different directions. Well, there it is, the first level completed of Putty Squad on the PlayStation Vita and Super Nintendo. Alright, so as much as I love 16-bit games, the Super Nintendo release is kind of hard to go back to after playing the remastered version. However, I can always go back to playing Super Putty on the SNES, which didn't get a remastered release. Overall, the remastered version, I'll have to say I enjoyed it. It's a good little puzzle platformer, and if you can pick it up for a good price. It has digital and physical releases on most systems. It's a little harder to find the physical Vita release in the wild, especially for a good price, because they just simply didn't print very many copies. If you're liking the Super Nintendo version, you should be able to find Putty Squad or Super Putty very cheap, around $5. Alright, well thanks for watching. Until next time, catch you later.